Page 16, Moszkowski's Serenade. The lesson here is kind of taking pages 16 and 17 together, although as far as the videos go, I'm only doing page 16. The idea is that a lot of times composers will use an idea or some melody or some part of a harmony or something from another composer or rhythm, whatever, and they'll use it in their stuff. And that's really what they've kind of done here. So let's look over page 16. It's one page long, treble and bass clef to start, 2 sharps in the key signature. We're in the key of D major, so make sure you can do the scale for D major and B minor, because it also has 2 sharps, and do the arpeggios. Also, at least 2 octaves up and down by now, I hope, if you can do these. If you don't know them, just go 1 octave, learn them first, and then once you know them, start thinking 2 octaves. And again, it's the trill exercise and the tremolo exercise that will do you the most good, along with the accents and all. And 2/4 time signature. We got a lot of notes here, so let's take this a little bit at a time. Right hand, F sharps to start, and it's a quarter note, and then an 1/8 note. So the top note is by itself, but hold it down as you do that one. So it's 1 and 2 and 1 and. See, it's 1 E and 1 E and. I'm going really slow. 1 E and 2 E and. Second measure, 1 E. I'll do the grace note later. 1. And that A and G, you see the little square bracket in front of them? That means you play them with the same finger. Play both of these with the thumb. We do this a lot in piano because the thumbs are handy and they can easily play 2 notes. So we do this because I want to hold that note down and then lift up. One. Whoops, what's going on here? Second line, second measure, and third measure. It's tied across the bar line. So at second measure, 1 and 2 and 1 and. And if it's throwing you, you just don't get it. Take out the tie and play all the notes. That's all it is. But then once you understand that, just put the tie in. Just hang on to the note. 1. You get the idea in the last measure. Now here, the idea with using thumb on that D is because of the grace note. Otherwise, it'd be easier just to stay here. But if you do that, you got the little finger. When you go to the end of the grace note, it's a bit awkward. I personally see no reason to avoid awkward. The more you get it, the less awkward it comes. But thumb, so we can do that. We use 4. This is a little easier. I see nothing wrong with using 5. It's good practice. Oh, I'll leave that up to you. How much of a challenge do you want? Last line, you're here. Then thumb here, and the fermata, I'll come back to that. And then just come down. And the LH, that's left hand. That's going to play those notes. So the right hand just stays here. Until then you come up 2 5, 2 5. Ooh, moving around a bit. Left hand broken chords here. Not the best, but okay. Natural. And they have the thumb here. Thumb's playing both of those notes in the last measure, the first line here. And second line, second measure. They put a sharp there in parentheses. That's because it's a sharp anyway. But you just had a C natural, and they want to make sure you understand it's a C sharp. So E sharp is an F. Make sure you get all that. Now the last line here, and then here, left hand comes over. I use 5 and 2. You can use whichever fingers you want, but the thumb is a short finger, so I don't usually use it when I have to reach. I use one of the other fingers. I don't have to reach as far, because if I use thumb, I got to reach further than here. Here I just here, and then here, and then here. Here you do need thumb, or you could do that too if you wanted, and then back down. And then treble clef, bass clef. I don't know what the left hand wants to do. Put the hands together. It's make sure you're holding these F sharps down. Get the idea? You put the hands together. I already did. Then go back through and get rid of any hesitations. Keep it as slow as you need to go. Your pulse really is going to be the eighth notes. It's almost like it's in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's where it'd be 4, 8 in that case. 4 beats to a measure and an eighth note gets a count, is what I'm saying. It's just really slow for now. Just get rid of the hesitations. And then we'll think about the articulation in these grace notes. Pretty smooth. You have 2 neutrals on these. Hang on to them as long as you can. Connect. And this grace note, just a real short note. How you interpret the grace note is up to you and your teacher. However, I do it on the beat. Most people do it before, but I do it before. Right there. The point is, it's a short note, and that's what we're after. It's got a really short note. Measure the first line. These notes, those little notes, they come in between them. It's here. It's so here. With the idea, I hope. So you work out the articulation, then the dynamics. Go to the right hand, the melody. It's soft. It means everything else is very soft. Now, as you get to know it and you get into it and you're just feeling it, you can get a little louder if you want to, but stay in the soft area. The last line, you have a soft retard on. Here, hang on to that fermata to whatever feels right, and then go on, lift up and go on. So the right hand is the melody, that's what we want to hear. And you have a retard onto there too. And these last chords, it's both hands is the same. The last measure, the first note, that's melody, that's the end of the melody. The rest of it's just an afterthought. It's just a chord. Both hands the same, soft. It should be clear to the listener that the song ended with the first note on that line, or that measure. The first note in the last measure, yeah, the song ended there, and this is just an afterthought, like a coda. Then, of course, they've added pedal. Well, we kind of need pedal because it's really choppy right now. So we want the pedal to smooth things out a little bit. We just don't want it to get mushy. It's going to be overlapping and live pedals, so I'm going to put the notes down first and then the pedal. Here. Change it after I play the notes. Lift it. I don't want to smear. I don't want that. So I don't pedal that beat. Now, I don't like that the last measure, the last two, so I'm going to change it with each eighth note. Here. So the last measure, the first line is here. Here. Change it with each one. You get the idea? Now they're pedaling in the second line, the last two measures, they're kind of pedaling it weird. Here. The idea is we want it all connected. So if you can't connect it with the hands, you use the pedal to help you out. The third measure, second line, here. I don't need the first pedal they show there. Here. I don't need this one. I can connect it with the fingers. That's fine. But I need the next one because the left hand's going from here to here. And I can't connect that. So I need the pedal to help me out. So it's... And again, if you're going to pedal the last measure, the second line, change it on each eighth note on the last beat. Here, don't connect. We don't want them both. Here. And then here, like here. Now the last line here, this is good because I need help to connect the notes. Here, and I would like just a speck of silence before we go on. I'm going to lift the pedal up. And I do need help here. I need to connect this to here. So. So we're using the pedal to help us. Be very critical with the pedal and what it's doing to the sound. Don't just blindly pedal it all. Close enough? No. I didn't talk about the speed. The speed is just graciously, leisurely. Be gracious about it. Oh my God.